Hi guys, lovely to see you today. It's a beautiful day outside. It's probably about 28 degrees out there, and it's a beautiful day. How many messages have I had this morning from you guys that have been in such a bad place in these past few days? I'm really sorry about that. I really find that heartbreaking, but also I kind of smile because I know that that's the journey that you're on. The journey that you're on and the feelings that you're feeling and the tests and the challenges, they're all part of life. That's what it is. And I suppose that if you're watching this now, there is a reason for that, and maybe through my experiences, which I believe is part of why we're all here, I'm able to share with you the information, the knowledge, the feelings, Oh, Daisy's been locked out. Give me a second. Where's my taps? Come on in, come on, I'm doing a video. Okay. Sorry about that. And everybody for you! And everybody for you! Oh, come here. I just locked it out outside, it's a bit hot. This is Daisy. So yeah, the challenges of life and what we go through and how we feel, even if we're an animal, it's all part of the journey, it's all part of life, it's what we go through. And at the end of it, we look back and say, how did I handle that? How did I manage that? Did I do a good job or did I do a bad job? Did I knee-jerk? Did I do this? Did I do that? All of these things are all great. They're all great lessons. They're lovely to know. They're great to know because it makes you who you are. You can have a measuring stick then and look back on your life and say, God, what was I like then? And look at me now. How on earth are you able to measure that if you don't go through these things? So today, what's the subject today? Today's subject is people's weaknesses and actions towards you and your understanding of them. This is a tough one, but I'm going to give you one or two examples. Let me have a think. Okay. There was a day that I was sat and I was having a drink in the village, and there was one particular man, and every time I walked past him while he was sat down, he would stare at me really angry as I looked at him, and he was really angry, and I was trying to figure out what I'd done wrong. It's because of my job, and he must be either Catholic, Christian, and because of my work that I even the mention of tarot cards, just people think that I'm demonic and evil, and it must be that's what it must be, or because I'm not his religion or whatever, or he just hates me, and there must be something about me that he hates. I must have done something wrong. And this went on for, oh gosh, such a long time. And I started noticing a pattern with this man. Every now and again, when I'd sit there or he'd walk past me, he'd be different. He'd look at me different. In fact, sometimes he'd go, morning. And I'd go, morning. And I'd walk and think, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. You know, why do I keep thinking people are angry? And then the following day, he'd be sat down and he'd be eating, and I'd look at him and he'd go like that. So I'd just turn away quickly and feel terrible, and then back to square one again. A day came about a year later, then I was sat with this lovely soul who lives in the village. And we were talking, and all of a sudden this same man came and said hello to her and said hello to me, and then sat down. And then he went to sit in his seat, and she said, he's a very interesting gentleman. He's lived in this village for a very long time, and he's got some funny trademarks. And I didn't say anything, I just smiled, and she said, I'm going to tell you something really interesting about this gentleman. We once sat and he told me about his life as a child, and his mother and father had separated, and he was about 10, 11. And what happened was she met somebody new, and the man that she met absolutely hated him. And what he recognised was that every time they ate at the table eating, he would look up and see his stepfather looking at him so angry that he wanted to kill him. And it was like this for all his life. And all of a sudden, everything made sense. You see, what you and I see on one level when somebody attacks or abuses us in any way or says bad things, on our level, we look at ourselves and think, what have we done? Well, we would do, because we've got a good heart and we're kind and we're caring and we don't want people to be upset with us. We just want a happy life and we want everybody to be happy. And on that level, we look at ourselves and we question so much, and we end up not really knowing what, but we end up blaming ourselves and that we've done something wrong. When in truth, everything that somebody else does to you, in whatever way that is a reflection of how they are, how they've been brought up, and what issues or what not issues they have. So if somebody has a beautiful smile and speaks to you lovely, then you know that they're in a good place and that they don't have many issues at that moment or whatever it is. But isn't it funny how I was sat there, and when he was eating, all he could look at is that the memory of his father looking back at him. So anybody who stared at him while he was eating was a reflection energy of how his father used to look at him. Isn't that amazing? Now, if you just stop for a moment and take that one, just this one story, you will realize that there is nothing that you've ever done wrong to anybody else when they attack you, or they look at you angry, or they're jealous, or they're bitter, or they're whatever. It is indeed a reflection. Remember that, it's a reflection. It isn't you. There is a difference to when you do something to somebody and they react back. So whenever you have questioned yourself why somebody does something like that to you, remember the story that Mark Bayersky shared with you today about the man who eats his food, who remembers the pain and suffering of his stepfather who hated him with all his heart. So from today on, do not ever look for fault within you when somebody attacks you. Just switch it around and look at that fault or that anger or that jealousy or that pain or that suffering as just their reflection of how they're feeling and what they need to conquer in their life. And to finalize, it is indeed a blessing and a lovely measuring stick to know that you are stronger and you are not in that energy they are. That is the biggest blessing of all. You are amazing, you are beautiful, and don't you ever let somebody else's weakness pull you down. The secret to a perfect, happy life is to find your happiness and never allow anybody to take that from you, or should I say, never allow yourself to take that from you. That's more important, because nobody can take your happiness away. Only you, if you allow it. So today, like me, like Daisy, let's just fill this world with love and send your good energy to everybody who is in a bad place. Therefore, it's a win-win situation, because if you send your good energy and they get better, then they're happier, and then they won't look at you in an angry way ever again. Love you all. Thank you for subscribing to Mark Bayersky YouTube channel, and yeah, from my heart to yours, love you all. Take care.